Organizers of the 2019 Southeast Asian Games ignored advice from a commission on Muslim Filipinos to ensure delegates from Islamic countries are served halal food. National Commission on Muslim Filipinos External Affairs Director Datu Ramos says, quote, "I had warned them about this scenario regarding halal food during the interagency meeting for the SEA Games back in September and offered the assistance of the NCMF. We were ignored." Ramos' statement came after reports that the athletes were served kikiam, a non-halal food, and other meals Muslims normally stay away from. The situation prompts Singapore Chef de Mission Juliana So to write a letter to the Philippine Southeast Asian Games Organizing Committee, or FISGOC, Monday, November 25, to quote, "address the situations we are facing." So says the Singapore contingent resorted to ordering their own food from outside. Singapore is among countries which fielded Muslim athletes to the biennial regional games. Others were Brunei, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Philippine Olympic Committee President and Cavite Representative Bambol Tolentino says Tuesday, November 26, the logistical problems encountered in the arrival of delegates for the games are, quote, "normal." The fiasco from the last few days remind Filipinos online of the controversial Fire Festival from years ago. The festival was set up to be a luxurious Coachella-like concert experience at the Bahamas Islands organized by businessman Billy McFarland and rapper Ja Rule. But concert goers were made to wait on a Bahamian restaurant for hours, only to be carted off to the now infamous site of hurricane relief tents. Even the food served so far in the SEA Games have been fire-like. FISGOC Chief Operating Officer Ramon Suzara boldly declared the country was 150% ready for the Games. Meanwhile, Senator Bongo, in a privileged speech during a Senate session Monday, November 25, says the organizers of the Games will be made answerable for apparent inefficiencies.
Ang sabi nila dati ay almost ready and complete na ang preparation, venues and everything that will be used for the games. As of October 30, 2019, FISGOC stated that preparations are 90% complete. Bakit nangyari ang mga ganito? To all the parties, tandaan ninyo, ang kapalpakan ng isa ay kapalpakan nating lahat.
FISGOC is headed by House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano. The opening ceremony of the Games will be on Saturday, November 30. House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano and 7 congressmen asked election officials to issue certificates of proclamation to 2 embattled partyless groups, Duterte Youth and Senior Citizens. The lawmakers are respectfully urging the poll body to proclaim the group's first nominees, despite cases faced pending before the Commission on Elections or Comelec. The House leaders argued the delayed resolution of the cases violate the mandate of the Comelec by, quote, "avoiding disenfranchisement of the voter." They also argue it violates the constitutional mandate for, quote, "party lists to represent at least 20% of the total number of representatives in Congress. Without a COP, the first nominee of a winning party list group cannot take the oath as a member of the House." Comelec Commissioner Rowena Guanzon says on Twitter, "Parties Cardema were given due process. We conducted hearings on the pleadings, but petitioners against them also have the right to be heard." Justice Secretary Menardo Guevarra turns down a nomination to a vacancy in the Supreme Court bench. Retired Sandigan Bayan Justice Raul Victorino nominated Guevarra. In a speech Monday, November 25, he says, "Justice Victorino, thank you for nominating me, but I'm still in love with the DOJ. I very much want to join the judiciary in some future time, but I just want to make sure that I'm able to do something more for the DOJ before I can even think of transferring to the judiciary." Guevarra is 65 years old, leaving him only 5 years to serve in the Supreme Court bench should he choose to apply, and if he is ever appointed. The Philippine National Police arrested 243 persons across the Philippines for using electronic cigarettes. PNP spokesman Bernard Banac says the police confiscated a total of 318 pieces of vaping gadgets and a total of 666 pieces of vape juices.
All 243 persons were released after documentation.
There is no law as a basis to file cases against the 243 apart from President Rodrigo Duterte's verbal order and Executive Order Number 26. But EO 26 does not explicitly order the ban of vaping. Duterte earlier warned judges against issuing restraining orders if ever anyone questions his verbal-only policy of enforcing the law. A record 71% of the 4.13 million registered voters in Hong Kong cast ballots during their district elections Sunday, November 24. The city's largest pro-Beijing political party lost, with at least 155 of its 182 candidates defeated. This is a humiliating rebuke to Beijing and City Chief Executive Carrie Lam, who dismissed calls for political reform and repeatedly suggested a silent majority supports her administration and opposes the protest movement. Pro-democracy candidates who seek to loosen China's control seized an overwhelming overwhelming majority of the 452 seats in the city's 18 district councils. The Labour Party, another leading component of the pro-democracy bloc, attributes the election result to the sweat, blood, and tears of protesters.